Breath
Yeah.
plus Watcher seems to be like the only mirror breaker that exists if there's no singularity. So looking for that 2-card combo, and for Ting Ting side, he's gonna have to find it like immediately. It has to be this next turn. He finds like one half of the combo, plays Ezreal, and finds the other half. And then the question is, does he have enough runes to play it at that point? Because we're on 8 runes now. You'd be at 10, so no, it would not be enough runes after playing Ezreal. So there's no way to play both halves of the combo
I
on
don't
this
have any
next
extra
turn.
stamina.
And
Why are all these
so really,
why are
it's
these
like
things
Ting
that
Ting is
I
forced to
follow
look
that
for a
people tell you
hold.
to
He
do so
just
fucking
saw Frigid
bad?
Touch and Rebuke in hand, so I just don't even know if a hold is possible. It just feels like
Stamina is pretty good.
this is
Yeah, like
just like GG.
why is this
with the point
early on in like every
also,
build?
weirdly, that was not a Bella's Breath. That was an Ornn that was taken away, which, looking at
I thought it was Bella's Breath. Yeah,
how
but
much
it's not,
gold?
you're right.
That was actually quite a large Ornn.
In this matchup. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a pretty large Ornn coming through.
That's
Yep.
3 gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the Ornn still makes sense as the take, because look at the stack of gold is just getting completely unreasonable. And I
It's
guess
kind of crazy. Game 3 is like 10 minutes, but then the first 2 games were like over an hour. So
I mean, surely they must have found answers to the pit crews, or not found the pit crews this early. It's just both sides having the pit crews and the calls ready to go. Wages is just way too late to actually really matter too much, but maybe in combination with a might reduction. I don't know if I love this view when he's drawing. I want to see what he's drawn. Let me see. Let me see.
Heart Sharp.
Watcher. It's a turn late, right? It's not really going to be able to do anything.
I feel like it's a Giga Hold strat and just pray at this point.
I mean, you have.
There's a train down here.
A Rebuke and a Frigid Touch, and I just don't know.
So many labyrinths down underneath if you're small.
Yeah, but there's no way you're defending either. I mean, there's no way you're defending a double conquer either.
You are forced to hold. There is no. You don't actually have a choice, but it is just like, is this ever working? And I feel like it's pretty much like 0% to work.
Yeah, the stuff when you're like in the little underground tunnels for you and Ava are pretty cool to check out.
What readied the seal?
The Veiled Temple. It's the battlefield.
Yeah.
He summons me.
Then Furnace keeps finding me, but I keep just going into a hole. It's probably so bad.
7 points. I don't know why his Poro got moved
Can't
back.
do anything.
In the showdown and waiting. Oh, maybe he's considering casting one of these rebukes on the rat.
Those are some wrinkled gold.
That is not the right move, though. I feel like if you rebuke the rat.
Feels unnecessary, right? Feels like this next turn you can kind of just like force a win some way. Maybe not. I mean, we'll see.
What does he have in his hand? A Watcher,
Card Sharp,
Wages, and what's the other card?
Card Sharp. So, I mean, the most might you can present here is to play the Watcher and then hide the Wages. And that is just like, this is
probably the play.
Cards on the table, this is everything I've got.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah. And you put the
in that case,
on the void gate.
Yeah.
So this is 15 might on Temple, 10 might on Void Gate. Wages would be hidden.
I just kept hitting Q into that into that
damage,
wall.
Also, there's nothing that this 4 damage actually matters against versus 3 damage. Because 3 damage would kill Ezreal. I don't know that 4 is ever going to make a difference. So he could have chosen either side.
The only difference it would make is if you're going for a trade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do we know if
the seal? So that's
fuck you, Lash.
That drop.
Sleep
Do we know if
him.
Ezreal has like a Watcher or no? Just
no. So he had a Rebuke and a Frigid Touch from the reveal from the Mind Splitter, and it looks like he has a second Rebuke.
Yeah, double Rebuke, Frigid.
Yeah, which I think is enough.
Double Rebuke. Yeah, I think that is enough actually.
Yeah, I mean,
you got any of that nap time?
Right?
The hidden field.
7 seconds.
If it ever survives something.
Yeah, like go in, kill the Ezreal, come back, play seal, ready the pit, and then just all in.
Yeah, because we saw the rebukes, maybe we should
You're
put him on the other
mine.
battlefield so that this doesn't happen.
Well, you only saw one. You don't see. You
He
didn't see two
three
rebukes.
Okay.
rebukes. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just fucked.
and those
He's
trade.
still already the rat, so
And the
go
one
in.
stronger.
The seal actually
Or
ensured
she's
the
just
win
fucked.
here. It did matter because he didn't have a way to actually run into both battlefields. But the
I
seal
love
is
that
going
the
to allow
players-
it.
This player still grabbed gold. I love it. I think that's amazing. I think the fact that we went in and grabbed those 2 golds from the call, I think is a power move.
All right. And that does it. Ting Ting will not be able to repeat his success from last week, making it all the way to the semifinals and winning the best of Ezreal. But this is 3 top 64s in a row for him with this Ezreal list. So still very impressive play. And he's beaten by his own deck. His own deck is able to come back to haunt him and beats him in the mirror. The rat race not
Nope,
going in
he
his
got
favor.
me.
That's unfortunate.
Wait a minute? Randy is playing on stream next round? Is that what? Is that real? Randy just messaged me, said he'll be on
I
stream
guess
next round.
they prepared because they knew he was coming and they knew he made it out of Top Cut, so they prepared an English translator for him.
That's really cool. I mean, he is the one of Sivir, right? That's made it now to the top 32. His deck is really cool. I'm sure a
Yeah, he
lot of the
rage
Chinese
quit.
players are going to be interested in like this deck list because it's quite different than. I mean, it's not like crazy out of nowhere, but it's a little bit different than like the average Sivir list you're seeing. Definitely different than what they're playing in China.
But in China, we've seen.
Yeah.
So it is going to make his future matchups harder because now everyone's going to see the deck.
Yeah.
But I think there's a very so far from what I've heard from every Chinese player that's played him, they've been very, very surprised by the deck, and they wanted to see it do well.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's strong. It's really cool. We're not showing anything here until it appears on stream, and then at that
You're
point,
mine.
yeah, like you see the whole deck at that point. So, we'll go from there.
It's a very, very neat deck to execute.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to run. It requires a lot of actual technical play, and in a long tournament, that's gonna cause a lot of issues.
I guess we can kind of continue with the topic we were talking about before we got there as
Okay,
well,
yeah.
because we were talking about Randy and the fact that he got to show up and you helped him get to play. But one of the other cool things that you had mentioned, and you mentioned just now, and I think we just didn't get to it because they jumped us into a match, which was awesome, is that Randy ended up getting like interviewed by Riot China, right? Like he was getting to talking to them, and this is all like coming from you as well. Can you talk about that process and like the interest level from like Riot China on these Western players coming through and playing in the events?
They're actually very excited that there's international players coming. I mean,
Just
they were
give me that
they were
holo,
prepared
guy.
when George came. We had the conversation. I made sure I introduced them to the event organizers and everything early on in the event because I do have some
Hiding from
some
Glass.
connections from esports and everything.
Can't get me here.
And now I know a lot more of the internal guys. So from a media standpoint, they come in. They're always very interested to see a foreigner, and I just did the brief introduction. And it does help because they do like to showcase the different kind of players coming together to play the game.
I was behind a wall.
The game Riftbound transcends the whole like language barrier because you can communicate with your hands. You do the gestures. Everything's kind of universal. Like when I pass your turn, you just like wave your hand and say, "Hey, it's your turn." And the Riot's been very, very, very helpful with this, as well as Shining Soul. I think they're also very some of their marketing guys are also very interested in having these kind of conversations with us.
Oh, I mean that's really sweet. And like Randy, it's been fun hearing Randy say that he has felt like the level of competition in China is equal or greater than what he played against in Houston. I think a lot of the times, we hear the same from George. He felt like the players in China were really, really strong. And then, I know people will talk a lot of trash about the like Chinese players when they are seeing them just on stream. And as somebody who has played on this very stream, like, can you tell people about like the experience of like having to play on stream in China and where some of that comes from? Because I think there's a lot of stream jitters that come through, and I've been a staunch defender of like the talent in China anyways, because I think we were seeing a lot of really great plays generally on day 2. So I've never really agreed with the take, but just like I do think that there is a level that gets reduced a little bit on these stream matches, and I'm wondering if you could break down a little bit what it's like playing on stream at one of these regionals.
So playing on stream, there's a lot of the time your whole flow state, I guess, gets constantly disrupted by the judges telling you, yes, go ahead, do your turn, wait for production.
I can
etc.
tag along a
There's lot of that
minion?
going on, and
I
usually
saw
people
that
have
happen
jitters at the
before. I feel
beginning
like
of the
that's
game.
a change.
It does get better as the game goes on. However, it also gets very exhausting because like a lot of players are just aren't used to the pressure of being on stream, getting judged. And
If you
due
put your
to
little dude on a
the
minion,
the way the
you can
selection
tag
goes in
along
the stream,
too.
I think a lot of people
Hmm.
I think they
Didn't
really
realize
want to
that.
showcase, non-Draven decks, and because they're showcasing non-Draven decks, the players that decided not to bring Draven are usually a little bit less experienced. Not always the case, but in general, they're less experienced players. They want to play something fun. They want to go for the best of card. They're not expecting to win the tournament or anything.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of mistakes on technical play, and it's very very normal. And when you add stream jitters on that, it just makes it much more difficult. And just when you're not used to it, it happens. Like when I was playing on the stream, my opponent, he cleaved the stunned unit and stream jitters. You've never been on stream. What do you don't know what to expect.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. What's up, Marshall? Welcome. How's it going?
Morning.
How's your little nap?
I did not have a nap. I tried to go to sleep, but I just don't nap. I just sleep. So it's either I close my eyes for another 8 hours or I just stayed up. So I stayed up.
All right, fair enough. Well, now you're playing. Now you're up. Now you're up forever.
Now I'm up. That's it. That's hopefully we have more interesting games than that Lux game. I decided to rewatch it because obviously I tried to go to sleep. It just didn't work. I don't think I've ever seen like I play aggro decks. I don't finish games that fast.
Oh, yeah.
That was something.
I mean, it happens when you just can't stop your opponent from scoring, right? Like, I mean, that was just the issue with the Lux. It just like couldn't actually get any purchase to actually stop everything. But it was still kind of. I'm glad that they were able to sort out a backup match and get it towards the end of that that round. Yeah, I don't know. QV, do we want to do any rat stuff before we get into top 32 coming up? Is there any rat chat? Do you want some rat chat?
I mean, because it was coming up, it's gonna come up for sure later on. I thought we'd do it later, but I can I can make a list quickly. Yep.
Yeah, because we're also gonna be able to talk about Randy's list a little bit after his game. I don't want to do any spoilers for the Randy list. I think it's cool that people will experience it for the first time on the stream as well. I think that's kind of neat for everybody. I don't want to like ruin the surprise and talk about it before. So I'd rather do rat chat now, and then we can talk about Randy's Sivir if they actually do. I mean, he said he's going to be on stream. He sent me a message. He said he will be on stream next round.
Yeah, I think he finished early, so they could actually do a lot of the setup and actually make sure that everything is good to go, which is a good thing for sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we can get a little bingo check in. Well, I will have to say, Rat wins because Rat also loses. So that's like I don't know what to tell you. We got Rat wins and loses at the same time. Still got a little bit more to go here. I can tell you, I think some amount of these are probably getting checked off in the next round. Maybe not some of. Well, we could have multiple. We could have multiple checked off in the next round.
Checked off. I see one that is definitely getting checked off.
One is guaranteed checked off, and then there are more possible ones to be checked off. I will say.
You mean Kaiser versus? That one is never gonna get checked off. Oh god.
It's so funny because there are like plenty of Kaiser Yis around, but I'm pretty sure production is dodging that one, which is pretty funny. But yeah, no, there is one on this board that will guaranteed get checked off by the Sivir deck. And then I do think there are maybe 2 others that could get checked off.
I would say, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, probably 2 others that could get checked off in this next game from Randy's deck. It's possible maybe even a 3rd depending on what he plays against. But yeah, so that's gonna be cool. I think the fact that we can get some bingo board stuff, some bingo board action from Randy in this next game. I don't know if I like can get full confirmation from him, but he did say definitively, like, the message I received from Randy was just, I'll play on stream next round. That's it. So I don't really. There wasn't like a I may be on stream. It's possible I could be on stream. He just said I'll be on stream next round. So my thought is that we're going to indeed have Randy on stream.
I love this I love going for the middle boss and just dying and losing the game. It happens like every time. I feel like it's never the call. People res too fast.
Oh, we had possibly
All the
the
ultimates
worst
in the game are
team
huge.
You just mean like the one that beat the Lux?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that
to
one? Oh,
like
yeah, okay.
take that
So,
Amino without
you know,
alt,
if two
a
Lux
rem,
really getting through, who knows,
and
maybe there's no Driven that makes it.
AP,
Do you
a
think it's
spirit
interesting
powered
Driven has
punch
dropped
bop
again this week in
to
2024?
fight mid boss. Like if Hayes was alive, would have been dead so long ago.
That's
Billy
true.
was
People are
there.
playing
Hayes was there, it
Driven
would've helped.
overall because they just
We just
don't
had the
enjoy playing
worst
deck.
3 people in our team for that.
and there are better options, honestly.
It feels like it's what I've been saying for Draven for a bit, is like I still do believe Draven is the best deck. Like I still think it's probably the best deck, but I don't think it is like so far beyond a lot of these other options that you can pick that there's like no other deck that is a real
Stronghold
choice.
just
Like,
has
I
a
do think
bunch
Ezreal's
of
good enough, I think
skulls
Fiора's good
on it.
enough, I think Irelia is good enough. I believe Randy when he says this Sivir deck is good enough. He's a very strong player, and like I've played against it a lot. I feel like the deck is really good. So we'll see if like he can prove that correct and like actually win this tournament on Sivir, because I think that'd be a pretty big upset, and that'll throw a wrench into some people's plans for Bologna maybe, because it'll just like add another deck, you know, maybe hurting himself a little bit, but he'll walk away with a medal card and maybe a regional victory in China, which is probably worth blowing up his spot for Bologna. He was a little worried about it. He was like, oh, I want to hold this for Bologna, but I think I'm glad he decided to play it, get the reps in paper. No one's going to play the deck as well as him, I don't think, when it comes to Bologna anyway, so I think it'll be fine. I don't know that there's enough time for anyone to get better than him at his own version, but maybe other people also have a similar Sivir deck that they're hiding for Bologna, right? It's very possible. A lot of times that's kind of the case in card games, is you find something that feels really good, you keep it a secret, you show up at the event, there's like 3 other teams that have found the same deck and they're playing it, so yeah.
So you're saying it's not Aurora Sivir?
No, it's not Aurora Sivir. Like I can say that it is not Aurora. Like I don't mind saying that, because like you just said, this is not what players in China are used to as Sivir. We have seen so much Aurora Sivir out of China so far that like I think it is very clear that it is not an Aurora Sivir list.
That game 1 is gonna be like there's gonna be a big difference in deck knowledge. Is no one's gonna know what Randy is doing in game 1, so they're gonna get really confused, and it's gonna cost them the game. And then game 2 is when there's gonna start becoming like, okay, maybe this is a lot better.
Yeah, you do start to understand a little bit more about how to play around the deck going into the second, third games, etc.
In game 1, they're probably gonna make like crucial mistakes that's gonna cost them the game.
All right, we're gonna keep hyping it up and not telling you, chat. We have to. I need the surprise to be for everyone. I do not want it to be like, oh, we just tell you all about the list and then we see it in action. I know that can be fun, but I do think that it is more fun in this case that everyone gets to see it
Where are
live
they?
and gets to experience it.
Well,
together, as
Graves
though
is
you were
mid.
just watching the stream from home,
Oh.
and not use the like insider information to like spoil.
I got
this,
away.
like,
I'm in
this
the hole.
deck. And I'm not trying to build it
No,
up as
okay.
like, oh, this is the most brilliant thing you'll ever see. I just think it's more interesting when you get to see it for yourself and you get to like kind of guess where it's going once you see some of the early cards. From there though, we do, I believe, have the rat ready to go. Is that true? Sam, you tell me? Okay.
Holy
Good.
fuck, I hate these hands.
All right, yeah, so Kuvi, can you tell me a little bit about this deck list? This really good Ezreal deck that I think we've seen quite a few times at this point.
The lash is up there.
Yeah, so
Right. So
yeah.
the legend. I always
No,
like
no,
I
no,
start
no,
with the Legend of
not
Loki.
this one. Go to the other one. Let
Yeah,
me, Kuvi, tell me about the other one first. We'll
Okay,
talk about
a
this
bunch
one.
of souls
Kuvi,
when
can
they
you
run.
tell me about this Ezreal deck? Yeah, this is the Ezreal deck that
So
I'm mostly
yeah,
interested
of course,
about.
the legend is the legend does say when you play a gear ready,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then of course we see them in the usual chosen champion, which is a 3 energy, 3 might when you play a gear ready me unit, and then of course the core game plan of this deck is to play around the 2 top first cards that you see, which are like when you play a gear ready me. There's a issue here. We don't see a lot of gears in this deck, but it is still in
Yeah.
in the artwork of the
There's a lot
card,
of
which
rats.
means that it
Yeah.
will, yeah, just a bunch of rats ratting around, and you just win with that by being a rat from Ratatouille in Paris.
All right. Now, this less interesting Ezreal deck we can
Version
go
of the
over.
deck.
I think the other deck is one that I kind of like a little bit more, but this one, that you've made here, Kuvi, to kind of represent what we've seen.
Mid boss is about to
Right.
spawn.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
So yeah, this is using Ezreal. Ezreal Legend is you basically drawing cards when you target enemy units or gears more than twice a turn in the same turn. And you get to utilize that effect to just draw a lot throughout all the spells and cards that allow you to target in your deck. But the core difference between this version of Ezreal and other versions of Ezreal is the combo of the rat plus Call. So the rat is when you play a gear ready me, but then it combos very well with Call. Call is an equipment that will, when you play it ready the rat, but also whenever you conquer, it will generate a gold. Gold comes in play, and then it readies the rat, which means that you can just go in, and then it's literally like a Lucian that creates gold, like an orange Lucian that creates gold. And that actually you can use multiple times because Lucian you can only ready him once. The rat you can just ready whenever you conquer when you have the
Are
gold.
they fighting the mid boss?
And then the combo gets
No, they're
even
not.
more ridiculous when you have
Wait, maybe they are.
boots
No,
on
probably not.
the
Without
unit.
No, we
Flash.
would
You can
hear
just
it.
go in,
We would hear it
ready
go.
and then by creating the gold, and then you go to the other battlefield, conquer, and then ready it again, and then create the gold, and then go back to safety. Going back to safety is very, very good against Draven in particular because you do not want to stay on battlefields to avoid combat. Aurelia loves coming in and chomping your rats. She's a unit eater, a rat eater, but then the little rat gets to escape because of this combo. You're just going in and out, which is pretty good. So this is the main difference. Mm-hmm.
I have a question on why there is only one Boots of Swiftness.
Because I don't think it's necessary, and I think double drawing it is actually a problem. It's good, but you're putting slightly winning more. I think going into a battlefield and going back and creating a gold is already strong, and you can already play another gear and ready it and do the same thing. If essentially giving it ganking through just playing another gear, or like playing a Wages of Pain, or like a card sharp which readies the rat. Boots are not bad. They're very good. They're nice to see. Playing it as a one of means that you're not gonna brick on it if you double draw it. But also you're playing purple. There's triple called shot and there's triple stack deck. Again, so I was gonna talk about these next. These cards allow you to go look for your combo. Or for the key cards that you need. But most likely the combo early on. And since you have so much just card selection, you will see that one of Boots of Swiftness. So you do not need two of it, especially because it's not mandatory for the actual core combo of this deck, which is Rat plus Skull, and not necessarily Rat plus Skull plus Boots. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, you made it made sense. I never even thought about you just need to play another gear that turn just to get it.
Yeah.
Back. Even though that's exactly what the card does, but yeah.
Right, maybe we should go back to the screen before the deck before that deck really, this thing.
Yeah,
that image.
I don't think I quite understand what the rat does. I think that's the main issue. There we go.
But we see some like regular Ezreal. The rest of the deck is a regular Ezreal shell, somewhat.
Well, it's a
You see
4v4 now.
the interaction spells that allow you to actually trigger your legend ability.
5v5.
Stupefy, Frigid Touch, Gust,
Yeah.
Rebuke.
Yeah.
All of these are like, and then Below's Breath, of course, are like regular.
I took the time to
We
put some
just
posters
lose.
out.
Spells that you'll see in almost every. Ezreal
This
list
is
that will
our
just make you trigger your legend
chance to
ability
not.
and then draw, and then also just interact with what the opponent is doing. We see the
They were
common
one
combo
player
of
down the
Below's
whole
Breath
time, so
plus
they all have
Watcher.
a lot of
Very
spirits.
strong combo. You just play Watcher.
They
Ours
have a
took a
few.
while to leave.
Reduce the might of everything.
Yeah.
-3, and then Below's Breath twice, and you deal damage to 2, so you're basically killing everything that has 5 might or less. And then you can even kill some other bigger things if you combo this thing with a Frigid Touch or like a Stupefy or something. This is very, regular combo in Ezra. And then we see the gold generation cards, as I've talked about. Like the Card Sharp and the Wages of Pain are good to generate gold to combo with the Rat when you haven't seen the call, or when you have the call but don't have the boots.
We'd hear that noise if they
They're
were
just
on
very
mid
good.
boss.
Other than that, we see the seals of Discord. So the seals here work with Rat by Ready in it, but they also just work very well because you can just play your Ezreal.
Like how it let
Ezreal
us know
in
right
the
as it
zone.
died.
You can cult shot.
They
You
have
a bunch of
their
purple,
damage up.
and, sometimes it also helps you pay for deflect against Aurelia, which is super important. We see a couple 1-0s. We see the hard bargain 1-0. I think this one is just another example of
Oh,
a
I'm
card that
silencered.
is good, but you really don't want to see too
GG.
of it, and you will always kind of be able to find it because of the card selection that you have. And if it's in a matchup where you don't need it, you can just use this Ezreal and then discard it from your hand. Then we see the 1F Arcane Shift. This one is very good because you can use it on Thousand Tales Watcher by reactivating the -3, and you can even ready it. You can go in with Watcher, then Arcane Shift, bring it back to base, having it paying for the ready cost, accelerate cost, and then push in the other battlefield, and you've effectively given -3 to everything again, or even -6. It also works.
You're
with Mind Splitter.
mine.
Yeah, Mind Splitter is another big unit here. It's just good, a very solid 7-drop, 7 energy unit. You just play it, look at the opponent's hand, remove the key cards, look at what you're going to be playing around. Because this deck, Ezreal in general, is a very reactive deck, right? Like almost all of your deck is reactive apart from the main combo of the Rat. Being able to see the opponent's hand helps you react better, right? Because you have the information. And reactive game plan depends on what you're expecting from the opponents, and just seeing their hand just helps you react better and be more precise with
I
your
did
cards,
not
which is
feel
super
like a
important.
key player, that's for sure.
Unchecked Power is
I
another
felt
one-off.
completely
This one
useless.
is, I think, here for
Yeah, same.
Miracle, or just Dravens that hold a lot.
I think that's all for
Especially
me
if you're
for
having
Deadlock.
flanks with the Rat.
Yeah,
It's
same.
to hold against you.
I'm gonna cast
and
my
you
6
don't
votes
have
for
a
Apollo.
obviously Watcher is very good.
5
But then
votes.
Unchecked Power punishes all those Miracle Dravens,
Who
or
do we
those
want?
Dravens that stay on battlefields with 2 hidden cards and that are
Do we know what they do?
even with Watcher.
I know Apollo has a lot
Also
of
can
movement.
sometimes be good against Aurelia.
Silver
because,
turns into a werewolf.
it doesn't target, so you don't have to deflect, and it's not.
And
Time to vote for
this-
Venator.
And it will just kill her if she.
No,
doesn't have
not
card
man
damage.
with gun.
Most likely.
Yeah, Unchecked
11
has
for
some nice incentive
Venator.
spots in
Not
this,
Jesus
meta.
man with
In
gun.
worst case
Is it,
scenario, just discard it with Ezreal.
Do you two think that it's definitely a main card, a main deck inclusion, or more of a sideboard?
No, I mean, I don't think it's definitely main deck. I could see it in the board. I could also see it just not even be in the deck, but I think we have seen it in past weeks show up in these Ezreal lists.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, it just seems like a good card for a sideboard. It seems a bit. Obviously, this is just off who's making it on the fly, but yeah, seeing it in the main board, the main deck section seems a bit.
So here, I'll defend Kuvi's main board inclusion of this. The main decks that this would be good against are going to be like Draven and Aurelia, which are the biggest slices of the meta pie right now. So it's like that would be a reason to include it in your main board, and then you just side it out into the other matchups, especially if you're playing it as a one of. Because in the bad matchups, you just discard it with your Ezreal.
Trim. Yeah, I guess you do have you discard with that drill and you just choose not to take
So-
it in your stack deck and cold shot.
I did put 2 Ezreals, so in the list I did put 2
Did you? Did you
Prodigy.
have 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Easy enough. All right. Here's a
Yeah,
reminder
there's two-
of
two people.
our top 64 that we had going into this round. One Ezreal down because they faced the mirror match out the gates. One Aurelia has snuck her way through, and we also know that Sivir is through because Randy has won his round. The Lux has died, and I'm wondering what other one-ofs might have lived to continue on, but we at least know one of the singletons with the Sivir is still kicking. But once again, you know, Fiora potentially alive and well to try and make another final 3 weeks in a row. We'll see.
I would love for Jax to get through. Jax is like just a favorite of mine. Like I'm cooking something up myself. Nothing like too serious. He's just my for fun deck. I want to see Jax do well.
Wait, Huge, are you muted? I see you talking. I don't hear you. On Discord.
He's
'Cause you
definitely
probably-
Yeah,
just-
no, I'm
There you go.
muted.
There you go.
Jax is very, very strong,
Yeah.
I think. It's just he needs to draw the right cards at the right time. Otherwise, he just kind of like falls over to something like Turbo Beam.
Yeah.
So it's rough.
I think you're supposed to build him like Ornn, where you just have like all of the counter spells in the deck, and you have like Jax, Camel, Lucian. I mean, Jax
You have a
Unrelenting
bunch of
is your.
You run through brutalizers for sure. Like brutalizers
Oh,
just
100%.
broke Jax.
Yeah. Brutalizer. So I was saying to someone recently, I was like, who runs Brutalizer? And I was like, it's a Jax card, and it's like an Azir card, and apart from that, there's just no one
Yeah.
ever going to touch that card.
Yeah, but the card is insane in those two decks. Like
Oh, yeah,
it's really good in those two decks, and then it just like is quite bad in probably most other decks. I mean, it's still like fine when it's sitting on your board, but I just don't know of any of the deck that can make like really good use of it.
There's
yeah,
just no
Jax-
other deck that just goes, hey, I'm just gonna give 3 mites to a unit for free. Like after you paid it, it's just bouncing around for free. It's just the unit never dies. You're always putting it on the unit you want. It's great.
I think what we've seen from Jax in the past is it does look pretty strong. I think Jax's like signature spell does a lot of heavy lifting. I think Counter Strike is just really powerful. I also think Jax Unmatched is relatively impressive, just turning all the equips into combat tricks, making them a lot less slow, and allowing you to play this like more equipment heavy deck, because we've also just seen how powerful like cascading equipment is. I think the hard thing always for Jax is
He even sold his house and he's moving to another country.
Is relatively underwhelming, even though yes, that can give you
Wait,
access
Steven
to, like, a
did?
lot of card draw. I just think that green Jax
Yeah.
has to be your champ zone. It's like way better.
Nice.
So it's kind of hard from there. And then
The
other side
game
that
was
we
just
saw
a
is like,
fucking rug
the
pull.
deck building cost of like you want
Incredible.
small units to be. able
I'm
to,
funding
like,
the game with
cascade.
my own money.
but
It'll
you
fund
also want
forever.
a lot of equipment,
Shuts it down
and then you also
immediately.
want, like,
Takes the
big
money from
units to
Steam.
turbo stack.
Sells his house
So it's like
for more than he
where do
bought it
we-
for.
how do
Moves
we
to
fit in? 'Cause
Jamaica
you
or
also
some
want
shit.
spells 'cause you're in green, right? So
Yes.
you're also like, okay, we want some kind of spells like counter spells or
Nice.
punch
Well done,
first 'cause we're
Steven.
orange or discipline or whatever. Like we want. There's all these cards that you want, and I think there's a lot of deck building tension, and it's very likely that people have not found the like best Jax list for the current meta yet because of all this deck building tension. It makes it really hard to find that like perfect mix of everything that feels really consistent and it feels really good. I'm not convinced that Jax is like better than some of these other top performing decks, but I do think Jax is like a respectable list, and it definitely is like probably like some solidly B tier soup stuff, kind of like where Rek'Sai lives, where there's like some really powerful things that you can do, and sometimes people are gonna get absolutely run over when they have the right draw, and then sometimes it's just like the deck building tension gets to them and they draw the wrong half of the deck. I think Jax really runs into wrong half of the deck syndrome a lot, and that's maybe a major issue that this deck can run into.
Yeah, I
have
mean,
a-
one thing to note is like if you have a camel with a bunch of equipment standing on a battlefield,
Yeah.
if you draw Counter Strike, that camel cannot die.
It cannot be moved. That is
Yep.
It cannot be.
Yeah.
It literally cannot be moved. You can't
Yeah.
target it, and then you have to ram something with over over his might, and then you just Counter Strike, and you can't remove the counter strike with the spell, so it's pretty strong. However, Jax is really good in draft when you have to play sealed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
He
disgusting.
comes with the brutalizer package. So if you do get Jackson sealed, he's very strong.
Oh, in the pre-riffs, he comes with the brutalizer. Yeah, I was gonna say even just like if I was playing draft, because now we have draft rules, and I saw a Jax, I would be pretty inclined to pick this. I feel like this ability.
Intrepid Studios board of directors is just Steve.
Being able to remove
There's a document.
Field draft is very good.
Yeah.
Pre-rift, the fact that he just doesn't.
That's incredible. I mean, people gave him $500 to play that game.
I'm playing green, orange. Hey, what other color has really good equipment? I'm just slamming this in.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could.
This is my Jax list that I'm currently playing with. The one that there was just on the
one that was shown.
screen there. The one that was shown is the one that I was running, which is Camel is in the sideboard because I'm testing stuff at the moment. I think Akshan needs to swap with the Camel.
The number of vacancy on the board of directors is 0.
Is what I'm playing at the moment. Yeah. It's very fun. The thing that I'm enjoying the most is you hold up like 3 energy, like on a turn, and you either say to your opponent, push in with all of your units and get hit with a counter.
Oh, the Kickstarter had a clause on it saying that if the game doesn't make it to Steam, we'll refund everyone. But they made it to Steam and turned it off.
Thank you, production. Thank you.
Insane.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. This is my current list. I think it's really strong at the moment. But I'm on. So you said about.
You should ask Steam support to refund you. See what they say.
I like running orange. It's really good for like later in the game. You play it, you get the card draw. You don't struggle for runes with this deck because of how Jax works and how the Bone Shiver works. Yeah, this is what I'm running. It's very fun. It's obviously not going to be every deck at the moment. I'm still it's racing on it, but yeah, the Jax Unrelenting is you pay 1 to equip, but because later in the game you have so many runes that you can just recycle a full rune, like, and you
equip and draw.
You draw. So like if you have your like 6 equipment, I did it on a turn where I had Jax and I got rid of 6 full whole runes and then drew 6 cards, and I'm like, I kind of feel happy about that. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean, maybe it does work. I felt that losing the flexibility of the quick draw, because it like fixes some of that deck building tension stuff of, right, like if your hand has too many equips and you play green Jack, suddenly your hand is a bunch of spells, which is better than your hand being a bunch of equips, right? But I did also mention that card draw can be an issue for this deck, right? This is a way to kind of solve your card draw issue of just like running out of threats. So maybe it is possible. I saw Major Armor say exactly what I was about to say about the sealed in the draft, is like if you find Jax early in your draft and then
your help request has been submitted to Steam support. I told Gabe to remove his balls.
So happy, like getting a BF sword in Jax.
Is that what you said? Gabe and remove his balls.
Yeah, I said Steven Sheriff at the MLM scam artist is at it again. Gabe, remove his balls.
But just like, I feel like it's hitting the breakpoints you want, cascading a BF sword and getting like multiple 3 might per turn is just.
He's going to another country. Why are there so many yachts around my house?
How good BF sword has just been.
Why does that yacht have a cannon on it?
Yeah, I mean,
like it's free. You don't have to kill
Gabeinator.
You just equip.
That's true.
He's just yellow. You're playing yellow. You're playing BF sword. You're playing Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah, absolutely. You get rid of the BF sword, Blade of the Rune. If you have Jax as your chosen champion, or not your chosen, sorry, you have Jax as your legend, you can just play BF sword. Or sorry, not BF sword, Blade of the Rune King. You can just get +4. You can't cascade it as easily, but it's still like this thing's chonky. This thing's,
if you're playing draft and you get a camel, your opponent's like, okay, I see 1 camel, and this camel just grows to like 20 might, and you're like, hello.
Also, green Jax gives this a quick draw if you ever have that.
That's kind of funny.
So you don't have to kill a unit when you quick draw it.
Oh, true. I was gonna say, yeah, how would you'd have to like have double yellow? Because at the moment, if you're playing draft, you'd have to have at least a yellow to play this.
You'd have to have 1 yellow, yeah.
So I guess
the advantage of Jax is you generally don't have to, but you'd still have to have the yellow if you're playing. Yeah, no matter what, if you play the Blade of the Rune King, you have to have yellow because it has like a yellow pip just baseline. So you have to have yellow. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. So Draft Jack's getting to play this is pretty good.
You also have to be super lucky with your pulls to get the epic, because Blade of the Runekin's an epic.
Yeah,
So
whereas BF
Sword
is just an uncommon. Yeah.
You actually could just hit BF Sword and be like, okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
like the pre-rift kits, if you get the Jacks, just, you have 5 packs, just pray for BF Sword. If you see BF Sword, okay, we're playing Jacks, we're playing yellow.
Yeah, Jacks with yellow.
Find, who else would you run? You could run Xin Zhao, you could run the dog, you could run... I'm trying to think. So like, here's the 12 cards that gets included in the Jacks list. I mean, you get your 1 Brutalizer, you get Casanova's favorite equipment, Hex Drinker.
God, I hate that card so much. I think it's so bad. It is so abysmal.
You get Doran's Blade, you get the shield, the tank shield, Doran shield.
Yep.
I mean, I got Jacks in my pre-rift. That was what I got. So I sleeved everything. So I have everything here. I put it together, and it did feel quite fun. I mean, I did something really cheesy with my pre-rift, and I pulled the alt art purple Draven.
Nice.
So I just made a purple Draven that was absolutely huge.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I was like, I win. So this was before we figured out Draven was broken. So I got my my purple Draven Audacious with a Trinity Force and a Hex Drinker and a Brutalizer. And this was before I realized what the deck was even doing. I just was me and Jimmy Wong. That was who I was playing with. Me and Jimmy were playing, and I just was like, "Hey Jimmy, come on, push and attack me. I want to get my 3 points here," because it was just the I'm gonna steal a bunch of points that should have been there. But yeah, this is my current iteration of the Jacks list, and I do think it's quite fun. And I would love to see how the best of deck runs theirs.
We'll see if it's alive.
I mean,
we'll find out. Find out soon enough.
See. We'll definitely see. But I think Apprentice Smith is one of the cards that, especially in this deck, is very risky. But like, you have to have it in. I think.
Well, I mean, we saw it happen with Jax. Was it? I don't know if it was. Yeah, I guess it was last week during day 1. We saw Jax, and he drew like 5 times off of Smith in one game, and it was like, okay, well, when the card draws 5 cards, it's a pretty good card. It kind of fixes all your problems. But then, yeah, when it misses, it's quite bad. And usually it's about a 50-50 every single time it moves, which is not the most ideal. But if you ever get more than 1 draw, it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the other option is just run some Stelicorns, right? It's not
yeah,
as good,
or just you could just run Lonely Poro, and it would always draw 1 card, in theory. But it did feel like Jax was more willing to like stack battlefields, and then then Lonely Poro loses some value because you can never stack with it to draw. So that's where Apprentice Smith kind of gains a little bit of value there. I guess just continuing down. Well, first we'll hit this. If you haven't already, or you weren't aware, we have added international shipping to our shop. So if you did want to get one of these mats, and you are anywhere that is not the US, but also if you're in the US, you can now buy these mats as well as our spinning might counters that have the plus and minus, and then go up to 4 might. They come in a pack of 3. We have pre-orders available for those. Pre-orders for the mats as well. It'll all ship March 1st, as we got that shipment coming in. But yeah, really excited about these mats. We'll have even more coming out in Spirit Forge as well. But I know people have been asking us about international shipping ever since we launched them. We finally got it sorted. I did promise y'all for the last 2 weeks that we would figure it out before the end of these 4 weeks, and we have. And so now you can get these. So thanks for all the support for people who do. This is a great way to support us outside of just subscribing to the channel and watching the content. If you want to go a step further and monetarily support us, the shop is the best way to do so. But yeah, thanks everybody. I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you've had Spirit Forge out for a bit. You've been playing Spirit Forge at locals. We have our pre-riffs coming up in like a week that we actually get to go play our pre-riffs in the West. Have you played did you play a decent amount of sealed, or did you just get like 1 or 2 pre-rift events?
I think I played like 3 or 4 times. I think it did not go that well. I played like Lucian once. Did not go that well. And I think other 2 times I did 2 Ezreals and 1 Jax. I did win the one I went with Jax, and I got second when I went with Ezreal.
Okay,
so
nice.
The Ezreal decks, you just don't use the Ezreal leader. You use the blue Ezreal. It's very strong in sealed because the blue Ezreal is really, really hard to kill. And you need to remember that Defy, Wind Wall, none of that exists. And
That's
there's
true. That's all set one. Yeah.
They're all set one. There's only hard bargains, so most things cannot be countered. And so so working around that, it also suddenly makes your Ezreal really, really hard to kill because there's just like one kill spell, which is Wages. So the Ezreal is just like invincible, and you're able to stack gear on Ezreal, which normally blue and purple decks do not have. So suddenly Ezreal just becomes really, really strong.
Yeah, because like what at best they could stack like Cull and boots on him and then try and play with that. But now you could be like, here's a BF sword for Ezreal and and use that. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're like, okay, there's not going to be enough spells for the Ezreal legend to matter. So you can either play another legend that you find if there's one that makes sense, or you can just go no legend, draw an extra card, and then have the champ zone, right? Did you play a different legend, or did you just draw an extra card?
You draw an extra card. If you do not have a champion, or like if you're not running a legend, then you draw an extra card. So the theory is, if you're not drawing more than 2 cards a game with the Ezreal legend, it's better just to have that free extra card.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. What other did you have any color combos that you found really fun when you were playing it? Because like I don't know if you remember. I know it's been a little bit now, but it's like I think adding the third color is like really, really cool. That limited gets to do in this game.
Purple is not that strong in sealed, just because you don't have Flight or Flight, you don't have Rebuke, you don't have Ride the Wind, you don't have all the good stuff.
All the stuff that became broken with Draven that was already good. Yeah.
All that stuff is not there. So what you end up doing is I think it's still like red and blue are like you always want 2 of red, green, blue. You want 2 of those, and then whatever the other color is. And I think that's generally the consensus. If you get a lot of punch first or whatever, yeah, sure, throw an orange. But generally, like red, green, blue is like the go-to. You want 2 of those colors.
I can see it.
What I've found to have the most success with.
I could see it. Red, green, and blue.
I do think it's kind of funny that there's no card limit for the sealed. So like, if you just get lucky and pull,
they changed that.
Yeah, so you could, if you're lucky, you could just like pull 4 punch firsts, 5 punch first from your packs, and put them in all in your deck, and then you say to your opponent, "Hey, surely he doesn't have punch first." And then you're like, okay, surely he doesn't have a second one. And then you play the third one. It's like, okay, all of them are done now. I can't be blown out. Oh, by the way, I got the 4th one. Unlucky, buddy.
Yeah. So what I found really good was Thwonk, because Thwonk just like blows people out because everyone has to fight you in combat. So
yeah, there's not a lot of spells.
Yeah, stun gets better.
In general.
Yeah, no, I mean it is a lot about unit combat, right? Because there's just like a lot of these the buffs, the stuns, the equipment is just like such a big part of this set, right? So there's like a little bit less removal in this set than set 1. I mean, a lot because just the number of cards is less anyway, right? So there's like a lot less removal in that sense, but yeah, it does make a lot of sense. But most other card games also kind of just don't have that card limit. I think when it comes to limited, right? Like if you find that many of a card, you can do it. So it's really fun that I think Riftbound has a lot of like very similar rules to other like card games limited, but because the game is so unique with like the battlefields and everything, and then specifically like having the domain kind of limited, right? Like Magic, you would be limited in your colors because you have to have like the lands that support it. And in Riftbound, you have a similar kind of concept that you have to have the lands or the runes that support it, but not really, right? Like it can be in a different color and it not have a power cost, and then it just like doesn't really matter. And being limited to do a total of 3 domains is still cool because it's different than like normal Riftbound, right? Oh, are we back? Oh, we are back. This is top 32. Jax is through. Only 1 Fiora left. If I can get that again for just a second, if you have time, I know you're probably working on it already.
Do you think we're gonna have a Sivir Jax game on
Ooh,
in
he
the next
played it
match.
once, right? He said the matchup was like fine, but he lost a game. I think he played a Jackson Swiss and he went 2-1.
He played a Jax.
Yeah. I kind of just hope he's against Draven, to be honest. I'm just like, I just want to, like, just
You
show
wanna
us
watch
the,
Draven lose.
yeah, show us the like the like why you can play this deck in the Draven meta. Thanks, Jarvis. We've got Fiora did lose all but one, so they've got one champion remaining, but she's no stranger to this. We've had Fiora had this happen a few times and still make finals. Both Lucians lived. We only lost the one Ezreal in the mirror. Bit of decimation on a lot of the Kaisa numbers, but still 3 remaining. And we lost 15 Dravens? Yeah, we lost 15 Dravens down to 12. Still a lot of Aurelia. Maybe it is Aurelia's week, Kuvi, because 8 Aurelia left after that first chop down is still a pretty good amount.
I told you. I'm a believer. I think Aurelia wins today.
I still just, I believe in Randy, and there is our boy on the screen. I'm so excited to get Randy on the stream here, to have this Sivir deck that he's been working on basically since day one. And wow, they even kept one of the guys from round 1. This is the Aurelia player from round 1 of today that is playing against Randy. They wanted Randy on so bad that they repeated the Aurelia player. Have you played against Randy's Sivir with Aurelia, Kuvi? Because I have, but it was with an old version of Aurelia. So it's pretty different than this version. I know this is closer to what you'd been playing for a while. Have you played this matchup?
Not much, no.
Okay.
I played against, I mean, there's, I'm not sure which version it is. Is it just regular Sivir? Is it the triple shovel one?
This
I mean,
is
I'm not
the,
gonna spoil.
no. I mean, you can. This is the same thing he's been playing for.
I wonder what the
months.
Discords are doing.
It's more refined than it was months ago, but he's been on this for a while. And
Should be rough for Aurelia then.
yeah, I found that we had split some amount of games, but generally it felt pretty Sivir favored. And as you see the Zon Warrens, I think you can guess a little bit of what direction this is going. We are going to easily be getting one of these bingo squares.
I'm guaranteed this Aurelia player is very
For the Ashes
confused
stuff?
when he saw the Zon Warren.
Yeah.
Unless he's gotten some scouting from other people,
Mm.
right? Like, unless he kind of has friends in the area that have seen
They're all being
Randy
very
playing, and he has an idea. But
cordial
it's possible he has
I'm
no
sure.
intel on this.
and like
But it's the
political.
effect of our own kind of like web group bubble.
I
maybe,
requested a
but, like,
refund,
I
but
feel like
I don't think I'm
the
gonna get it.
regular Sivir, or like the most common
Not
Sivir
either.
should be non or not.
Well, that's what
Aurora,
I
but-
thought too, and then everyone is telling me that Aurora Sivir is normal, and I think it is just us being in this this prep group.
It's our bubble.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Let's go, Randy.
All right. And there you
Yeah,
see,
I'm serious.
oh, this hand is very good.
That's how he was saying, because they're gonna be like looking at this and like, why is there 2 drops?
Yep. Yep, but Seal Ezreal found already, and he's got the Trove. Pretty nice start for Randy.
And you all know already.
So, as you can see, this is the miracle shell, right? That we he sent back a merchant, got a new merchant, but this is a miracle shell for Sivir. Trove is just a very strong card in Sivir, because it replaces itself and then gives you a gold.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. Every single deck should just have this miracle package in it. If it's got purple, I don't know.
Randy is very good at piloting this though too. I fully expect him to know his stack. It comes up very frequently with the Sivir deck. You are very often actually playing towards cards that you have stacked early in the game and you know are going to be there. So as long as Randy is locked in, he should know his stack perfectly and be able to cover it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows, like just from China, from him interacting with a lot of the Chinese players, they've been very surprised with his memory on the deck. Because even when he wasn't taking notes, he was able to literally play. I think he played a challenge and then knew his next card was Fizz, and then played Fizz and challenged him again.
Yep. And as you should, anytime you're playing a Miracle deck, this is why I think a lot of people are saying that they think Miracle is still like turbo broken, and if you're playing purple, you should be playing Miracle. If you know your stack and you are playing a deck with a way to be able to dig towards your stack, it is incredibly powerful. A lot of Flesh and Blood players have been, you know, experimenting with different Miracle shells because they naturally are quite good at pitch stacking. You cannot take notes in Flesh and Blood, so you have to just memorize it, and so that's not really an issue here. Finds the purple on turn 2, has the Seal, so Seal and Ezreal available. Is that just stacked as the third card? Relatively easy turn for him then.
Yeah. He can get going very soon.
This is so cool. Hold up, Goofy, are you seeing this? This Aurelia player was 6-0-2.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
think